Admiral Rex Thorne stood on the bridge of his ship watching the alien fleet spread across space like angry metal insects. 200 warships from 12 different worlds had come to Earth's doorstep with one simple message: submit or die. The lead ship belonged to the lizard people called Korathi, and it glowed with deadly power that could crack planets in half. Rex had spent 30 years in Earth's Navy, and he had never seen anything like this. The aliens called themselves the Galactic Council, and they had ruled the stars for 3,000 years. 47 different species followed their laws and paid their taxes and did what they were told. But humans were different, and the Council did not like that one bit. "Sir, we have an incoming message from the alien fleet," said Lisa Park from her station. She was young and scared, but she kept her voice steady like a good officer should. The bridge went quiet as everyone waited to hear what the lizards wanted. The hologram showed a tall reptile with cold yellow eyes and scales that looked like armor. Ambassador Keth spoke in perfect English, which meant the aliens had been studying humans for a long time. "People of Earth, your species has broken our laws. You have built too many ships and expanded to too many worlds. You have threatened our trade routes and ignored our warnings. You have 72 hours to surrender your fleets and submit to Council rule, or we will destroy every human ship in space and blockade your world until you starve." The message ended and the bridge stayed silent. Rex looked at his crew and saw fear in their eyes, but also something else: anger. Humans did not like being told what to do by anyone, especially not by aliens who thought they owned the galaxy. Captain Maya Singh stepped forward. She was Rex's second in command and one of the smartest people he had ever met. "Admiral, Earth Command is asking for orders. Our scouts report the alien fleet is 3 times larger than we expected. They have weapons we have never seen before." Rex smiled, but it was not a happy smile. The aliens thought they knew everything about human military strength. They had counted Earth's official navy and decided it was weak. 63 ships spread across 12 systems looked pathetic compared to their massive fleet. But the aliens had made one very big mistake. They had no idea what humans had been building in secret. "Send a message to Earth Command," Rex said. "Tell them Operation Prometheus is authorized. All shadow assets are cleared for deployment. The aliens want to see what happens when you threaten humanity's children, so we are going to show them." The bridge crew looked confused, but they followed orders. They did not know about the secret shipyards hidden in the asteroid belt or the quantum weapons that could phase through alien shields. They did not know about the AI systems that could predict enemy moves or the temporal technology that could slow time itself. Rex had been briefed on humanity's hidden arsenal just once, and even he did not know all the details. What he did know was that Earth's leaders had been preparing for this day since first contact with alien species 12 years ago. While the Council thought humans were primitive and weak, human scientists had been working on weapons that would make the aliens' technology look like stone tools. The Korathi flagship moved closer, and Rex could see smaller ships spreading out to surround Earth's fleet. Standard Council tactics from their war manual: surround the enemy and demand surrender. If they refuse, destroy them quickly and move on to the next target. It had worked for them for centuries. "So the aliens are powering up their weapons," reported the tactical officer. "They are targeting our ships," Rex nodded. "All ships maintain position. Do not power weapons. Let them think we are helpless." Maya looked at him like he had lost his mind. "Sir, with respect, we cannot win against those numbers. We need to retreat and regroup." "Captain, trust me. The aliens came here expecting to fight. Earth's official navy. They have no idea what they are about to face. In exactly 18 minutes, they are going to learn why threatening humanity was the biggest mistake in galactic history." Deep in space, invisible to alien sensors, the Shadow Fleet waited. 2,700 ships that existed in quantum superposition between dimensions. Ships built by automated factories that the Council had never detected. Ships with AI. Minds that could think faster than any organic brain, and weapons that could rewrite the laws of physics. Rex looked at the countdown timer on his command screen. 17 minutes until the aliens learned that humans were not just another primitive species to be conquered. 17 minutes until the galaxy discovered that Earth had been preparing for total victory from the very beginning. The Karathi ambassador appeared on screen again. Human Admiral, this is your final warning. Surrender now or we will open fire. Your ships are outnumbered and outgunned. Do not force us to destroy you. Rex stepped forward so the alien could see his face clearly. Ambassador Keth, your species has ruled the galaxy for 3,000 years. You have crushed rebellions and scattered enemies across the void. You think you know how this ends because you have done it so many times before, but you have never faced humanity. You have never fought a species that planned for this moment from the day we first learned we were not alone in the universe. The alien's eyes narrowed. You speak boldly for someone about to die. I speak truth for someone about to teach you that humans do not surrender. We do not submit. We do not bow to anyone. You came to our home demanding obedience. Now you get to learn what happens when you wake up a sleeping giant. The timer reached 0 and Rex gave the order that would change everything. All ships execute Prometheus Protocol. Shadow Fleet decloak and engage. Show them what human ingenuity looks like. Reality twisted as thousands of human ships materialized from quantum dimensions. The alien fleet found themselves surrounded by vessels that should not exist using technology that broke every rule they knew. The real war was about to begin. Dr. Marcus Webb stood in the command center deep beneath the moon's surface, watching displays that showed humanity's greatest secret. For 8 years, he had overseen the construction of weapons that would make the alien invaders wish they had. Never heard of Earth, the Shadow Fleet was ready, and it was time to show the galaxy what human science could accomplish when survival was on the line. Director, all quantum tunneling arrays are online, reported Dr. Amy Chun from her station. The Forge Worlds are reporting full readiness. We have confirmation from 17 different systems. Marcus nodded as he studied the massive holographic display showing Earth's hidden military infrastructure. The aliens could see humanity's official navy floating in space like sitting ducks. What they could not see was the real fleet that had been built in secret using technology that made their weapons look like toys. The automated shipyards in the asteroid belt had been working day and night for years. Nanofabrication technology allowed them to build ships that existed in quantum superposition, invisible to any sensors the Council possessed. Each vessel was equipped with adaptive AI, systems that could learn and evolve during combat and temporal shielding that could manipulate time itself. How many ships do we have ready for deployment? Marcus asked. 2,743 vessels of various classes, Amy replied. All equipped with quantum processors and our latest breakthrough in dimensional warfare technology. Each ship can phase between realities and strike from multiple dimensions simultaneously. Marcus walked to the main display and looked at the alien fleet surrounding Earth. The Council had brought their best ships and their most experienced commanders. They thought overwhelming numbers would guarantee victory just like it had for thousands of years. They were about to learn that human ingenuity could overcome any advantage. Get me Admiral Thorne, he said. The Admiral's weathered face appeared on the communication screen. Behind him, Marcus could see the bridge of the Defiance with crew members working frantically at their stations. The alien fleet was moving into attack position, and Rex looked grim but determined. Marcus, please tell me your miracle weapons are ready, because we are about to be blown to pieces out here. They are more than ready, Rex, but I need to ask you one more time. Are you absolutely certain about this course of action? Once we reveal what we have been building, there will be no going back. The galaxy will never see humanity as just another species again. Rex's expression hardened. The galaxy made that choice for us when they came to our home with demands and threats. They want to see our technology, then we will show them. But Marcus, I need to know that your people have built weapons that can actually win this fight. My crew is about to die. If this does not work? Marcus looked at the displays showing the Shadow Fleet's capabilities. Quantum torpedoes that could pass through shields like they did not exist. plasma cannons that could adjust their frequency to find gaps in enemy defenses, AI systems that could predict enemy movements and adapt tactics faster than any organic mind could process. Rex, your fleet is about to become the most powerful military force in galactic history. Each Shadow Fleet vessel has technology that is decades ahead of anything the Council has ever seen. Their weapons cannot penetrate our adaptive armor. Their sensors cannot lock onto our quantum-phased hulls. Their tactics are useless against AI that can predict their moves 3 seconds before they make them. The Admiral smiled for the first time since the crisis began. Let's show these aliens. What happens when they threaten humanity's children? Marcus turned to his team. All stations prepare for Operation Prometheus. Amy, I want you to coordinate with the quantum navigation systems. Tom, make sure the dimensional anchor points are stable. Lisa confirmed that all AI cores are synchronized with the fleet network. The command center buzzed with activity as technicians made final preparations. This was the moment that would determine humanity's future in the galaxy. Either they would emerge as a power that could stand against the Council, or they would be crushed like so many species before them. "Sir, we are receiving targeting data from Admiral Thorne," reported the tactical coordinator. "The alien fleet is spreading out into standard attack formation. They are following protocols from their war manual." Marcus almost laughed. The aliens were using tactics that had not changed in centuries. They believed in overwhelming firepower and brute force. They had never faced an enemy that could think faster than they could react, or weapons that could ignore their defenses completely. Excellent. Their predictability will be their downfall. Begin quantum tunnel deployment. All Shadow Fleet vessels prepare for dimensional phase-in. Target priority is the Korathi flagship and their heavy cruisers. The displays showed the Shadow Fleet moving through quantum dimensions toward the alien armada. Each ship existed in a state of superposition that made them invisible to normal sensors. They could strike from any angle and phase out before the enemy could respond. "Marcus, we are getting reports from our deep space monitoring stations," Amy said. "The Council has been mobilizing fleets from across the galaxy. This is just the first wave. They have thousands more ships coming." Marcus considered this information. The Council would not give up easily. They had spent 3,000 years building their empire, and they would not let one species challenge their authority. But that was exactly what humanity's leaders had planned for. "Then we make sure this first battle sends a message they will never forget. The galaxy needs to understand that Earth is not just another world to be conquered. We are the species that will either stand as equals or drag them all down with us." The countdown timer showed 30 seconds until the Shadow Fleet would materialize in real space. Marcus thought about all the years of preparation and all the sacrifices that had led to this moment. Scientists who had worked themselves to death developing new technologies. Engineers who had spent their lives building weapons they hoped would never be used. Soldiers who had trained for a war they prayed would never come. "Sir, quantum phase-in beginning now," reported the tactical officer. Reality shimmered as thousands of human ships materialized around the alien fleet. The Shadow Fleet emerged from quantum superposition like ghosts becoming solid. Each vessel was a masterpiece of human engineering designed for one purpose: to prove that humanity would bow to no one. "All ships report ready for combat," Amy announced. AI cores are synchronized. Quantum weapons are charged. Adaptive systems are online. Marcus opened a channel to Admiral Thorne. "Rex, the Shadow Fleet is at your command. Show the galaxy what human determination looks like." The battle began at exactly 0800 hours, and within the first minute, the alien fleet realized they had made a terrible mistake. The Shadow Fleet materialized around them like a nightmare becoming real. Thousands of human ships that had been invisible suddenly surrounded the Council armada from every direction. Admiral Rex Thorne watched his tactical display with satisfaction as alien commanders scrambled to respond to an impossible situation. Their sensors had detected 63 human ships, and now they faced nearly 3,000 vessels that appeared to bend light around their hulls and move in ways that violated the laws of physics. All ships engage, Rex commanded. Show them what quantum warfare looks like. The first salvo from the Shadow Fleet was devastating. Quantum torpedoes passed through alien shields like they were made of paper. The weapons existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously and struck targets that conventional defenses could not protect. Plasma cannons adjusted their frequency in real time, finding gaps in enemy armor that should not have existed, Captain. Maya Singh stared at her tactical screen in amazement. Sir, their shields are useless against our weapons. The quantum torpedoes are ignoring their defenses completely, Rex nodded. That's because our weapons don't play by their rules. While they spent centuries perfecting shields that could stop conventional attacks, we developed weapons that attack from dimensions they cannot even detect. On the Korathi flagship, Ambassador Keth watched his tactical display with growing horror. His mighty warship was shuddering under attacks from weapons that his sensors could barely track. The human ships moved with impossible speed and precision, as if they could predict his fleet's movements before his commanders even gave the orders. Ambassador, our shields are failing, reported his tactical officer. The human weapons are passing through our defenses like they do not exist. We are losing ships faster than we can count them. Keth's scaled features twisted with rage and confusion. Impossible. Our intelligence reports showed they were decades behind us in military technology. How can they have weapons this advanced? What the aliens did not understand was that humanity had approached warfare from a completely different angle. While the Council species had spent millennia refining existing technologies, humans had pursued radical new approaches that rewrote the rules of combat itself. The Shadow Fleet's AI systems were learning and adapting with every exchange. Each ship analyzed enemy tactics and shared information through quantum entanglement with every other vessel in the fleet. By the third wave of attacks, the human ships were predicting alien strategies before they were even implemented. Sir, we are detecting massive energy signatures from the human fleet, reported the Korathi sensor operator. Their weapons are somehow adjusting to counter our defensive maneuvers in real time. Keth had commanded fleets for 2 centuries and he had never seen anything like this. The human ships moved like they were alive. They learned from every attack and adapted their tactics faster than his organic crew could process information. It was like fighting an enemy that could see the future. All ships retreat to secondary positions, he ordered. We need to regroup and analyze their capabilities, but retreat was not an option. The Shadow Fleet had surrounded the alien armada completely. Every escape route was blocked by vessels that could phase in and out of reality at will. The Council fleet was trapped in a cage of quantum fire. Rex opened a channel to the entire alien fleet. Council ships, this is Admiral Thorne. You came to Earth demanding surrender. You brought the largest fleet in your history to intimidate a species you thought was weak and primitive. Now you face the reality of human preparation. The communication channel filled with panicked voices from alien commanders. Their ships were being destroyed by weapons they could not understand, operated by an enemy that seemed to anticipate their every move. Your species has ruled the galaxy for 3,000 years, Rex continued. You have crushed rebellions and scattered enemies across the void. But you have never faced humanity. You have never fought a species that spent 12 years preparing for this exact moment. The battle turned into a massacre. Human ships phased through alien formations, striking with surgical precision. Quantum weapons that could adjust their properties based on target analysis found weaknesses in every defensive system. AI cores that processed information faster than organic minds could imagine coordinated attacks across the entire battlefield. Captain Singh watched alien ships explode on her display. Sir, the enemy fleet is requesting permission to surrender. They are transmitting on all frequencies. Rex considered the tactical situation. The aliens had come to deliver an ultimatum. They had expected to crush human resistance through overwhelming force and demonstrate council power to the galaxy. Instead, they had walked into a trap that revealed the true scope of human military capability. Negative, let some of them escape. They need to carry word back to their leaders about what they have witnessed here today. The galaxy needs to know that Earth is not just another world to be conquered. The Shadow Fleet began systematically, destroying alien vessels while allowing certain ships to retreat. Rex made sure the Korathi flagship was among the survivors. Ambassador Keth needed to live to tell the Council what he had seen. "Sir, the surviving alien ships are jumping to hyperspace," reported the tactical officer. "Approximately 40 vessels escaped out of the original 200. Rex nodded. "Good, now they can report to their masters that humanity is not the primitive species they thought we were. Dr. Webb's quantum weapons have just changed the balance of power in the galaxy." The aftermath of the battle was stunning. The most powerful military force in galactic history had been defeated by a species that had been in space for less than 50 years. The Council's reputation for invincibility was shattered. Their advanced technology had been revealed as obsolete compared to human innovation. Maya approached Rex as the crew celebrated their victory. "Sir, what happens now?" "The Council will not accept this defeat. They will mobilize every ship in the galaxy to destroy us." Rex smiled grimly. "Then we show them what Phase 2 of our contingency plan looks like. The aliens think they have seen our full capabilities. They have no idea what else we have been building in secret." The first battle was over, but the war was just beginning. The Shadow Fleet had proven that human technology could overcome any advantage. Now it was time to demonstrate that humanity had prepared for total victory from the very beginning. The emergency session of the Galactic Council convened 3 days after the battle, and the Great Chamber on Concordia Prime had never seen such fear and confusion. Representatives from 47 species gathered with faces that showed the weight of unprecedented defeat. The humans had done the impossible, and now everything had to change. High Chancellor Vrak of the Hivekind called the assembly to order with his forearms trembling slightly. "Fellow councilors, we face a crisis unlike any in our 3,000 years of rule. The human fleet has demonstrated capabilities that challenge everything we thought we knew about warfare." Ambassador Keth stood to address the assembly, but his proud bearing was broken by the memory of his fleet's destruction. "Honored councilors, I have witnessed weapons that should not exist. Human vessels that appear from nowhere and vanish like ghosts. Energy weapons that pass through our shields like they are made of air. AI systems that predict our moves before we make them." The chamber erupted in angry voices. Councillor Yith of the Reef Singers waved his webbed hands dismissively. "Surely you exaggerate, Ambassador. No species could achieve such technological advancement in the brief time since first contact. Our scientists have studied human civilization and found nothing exceptional." Keth activated the holographic display, and the chamber fell silent. They watched footage of the Shadow Fleet emerging from quantum dimensions. They saw Council warships being destroyed by weapons that ignored every defensive technology. They witnessed the systematic dismantling of tactics that had proven successful for millennia. "If what we see is accurate, then our entire military doctrine is obsolete," said Chancellor Vrak. "Our fleets are helpless against this technology." "How is this possible?" The debate that followed was desperate and fierce. Some councilors demanded immediate mobilization of every ship in the galaxy. Others argued for diplomatic solutions, recognizing that war against such an advanced enemy could devastate civilized space. Councilor Myra of the Drift People spoke the truth that others feared to acknowledge. "Fellow councilors, we must face reality. Humanity has not simply developed superior weapons. They have evolved beyond our understanding of physics itself. The question is not whether we can defeat them, but whether we can survive if we continue to oppose them." The chamber descended into chaos as representatives argued and schemed. But beneath the political posturing, every alien leader understood the implications. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted permanently. The age of council dominance was ending. On Earth, President Maria Santos stood in the Situation Room surrounded by military advisors and intelligence officers. The reports from deep space monitoring stations were clear. The Council was mobilizing. Everything they had for one final assault on human space. Madam President, our quantum surveillance network is detecting massive fleet movements throughout Council territory, reported Defense Secretary Tom Harrison. They are consolidating forces from every member world. Intelligence estimates suggest they are assembling over 5,000 ships. Santos nodded grimly. Then we proceed to Phase 2 of the contingency plan. If the Council wants to escalate this conflict, we will show them why that was their final mistake. The President activated the secure communication system that connected her to humanity's most classified military assets. This is POTUS Authorization Code Alpha-7-7-9. I am authorizing deployment of the Genesis Array and activation of all temporal warfare protocols. Harrison looked shocked. Ma'am, are you certain? Once we use those weapons, there will be no hiding what we have accomplished. The entire galaxy will know that humanity has mastered time itself. Santos stared at the tactical display showing thousands of alien ships converging on Earth. The aliens made their choice when they refused our offer of peaceful coexistence. They want to see the full extent of human capability. We are going to show them. Deep in the asteroid belt, construction crews were making final adjustments to humanity's most terrible weapon. The Genesis Array was a massive structure that existed partially in normal space and partially in quantum dimensions. It could manipulate space-time itself, creating localized temporal distortions that would make the alien fleet's numbers meaningless. Dr. Marcus Webb supervised the final preparations with a mixture of pride and dread. Status report, he called. Out. All temporal manipulation systems are online, reported the chief engineer. Quantum field generators are stable. We can create time dilation effects of up to 15-to-1 ratios across a sphere of space 30 light minutes in diameter. Webb understood the implications. Any ship caught in the Genesis Array's field would experience time at a fraction of normal speed. They would be sitting ducks for the human fleet while their weapons and sensors operated at glacial rates. Dr. Webb, we are receiving word from President Santos, announced the communication officer. The Council fleet has entered our solar system. They are demanding unconditional surrender and threatening to destroy Earth if we refuse. Webb smiled coldly. Then they are about to learn that threatening humanity's homeworld was the worst decision in galactic history. Activate the Genesis Array. Let's show them what happens when you corner a species that has mastered time itself. The aliens came expecting to overwhelm Earth through sheer numbers. 5,000 ships from every major species in the galaxy converged on the human home system like a plague of metal locusts. Their commanders were confident that even advanced human technology could not overcome such overwhelming force. They had no idea that humanity had prepared for this exact scenario. The Genesis Array powered up and space-time itself began to twist. The alien fleet found themselves trapped in a temporal anomaly that made their vast numbers irrelevant. Admiral Rex Thorne stood at a bridge of Prometheus Station Humanities. New orbital fortress that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. All ships prepare for final engagement. The aliens want to see what total human victory looks like. We are about to show them. The second battle was about to begin, and it would determine the future of the galaxy. The Council had brought everything they had in one desperate gamble. Humanity was ready to prove that preparation and innovation could overcome any odds. The alien fleet spread across space like a metal storm, but they were about to learn that humans had been preparing for this moment since the day they first looked up at the stars and wondered what else was out there. The galaxy wanted war and Earth had prepared for total victory. The Second Battle of Seoul began when the largest military force in recorded history jumped into human space ready to crush Earth once and for all. Over 5,000 alien ships from every corner of the galaxy had come to end humanity's rebellion against Council rule. Their commanders believed that numbers alone would overwhelm even the most advanced technology. They were catastrophically wrong. Admiral Rex Thorne stood in the command center of Prometheus Station watching the alien armada spread across his tactical display like an infection. The orbital fortress existed in multiple dimensions, simultaneously making it invulnerable to conventional attack while serving as the nerve center for humanity's final gambit. Sir, sensors confirm 5,200 enemy vessels, reported Strategic Officer Dan Miller. All major council species are represented. They brought everything they have. Rex activated the fleet-wide communication system. All commands, this is Admiral Thorne. The enemy has come to our home believing that overwhelming numbers can defeat human ingenuity. Today we prove them wrong. Today we show the galaxy that humanity bows to no one. The human fleet now numbered over 8,000 vessels, but that was not their greatest advantage. Each ship was equipped with quantum processors that could think faster than any organic mind and temporal shielding that could manipulate time itself. The aliens had brought their largest force ever, but they were about to fight an enemy that had rewritten the laws of physics. All ships deploy quantum battle formation, Rex ordered. Initiate temporal combat protocols. Show them what happens when you threaten humanity's children. The battle that followed redefined warfare on a galactic scale. Human ships phased in and out of reality, striking from multiple dimensions simultaneously. They coordinated attacks through quantum entanglement across vast distances and adapted their tactics faster than alien commanders could process information. But the real shock came when humanity unveiled their ultimate weapon, the Genesis Array. Hidden in the asteroid belt began to power up, and space-time itself started to bend. The massive construct could create localized temporal distortions that would trap the enemy fleet in slow motion. While human ships operated at normal speed, Captain Maya Singh watched in amazement as reality twisted around the alien armada. Sir, the Genesis Array is performing beyond specifications. Enemy vessels are experiencing time dilation of 12-to-1 ratios. Their weapons are firing at less than 10% normal rate, Rex nodded with grim satisfaction. The aliens wanted to see our full capabilities? Now they understand what it means to fight a species that has mastered time itself. The Council fleet's numerical advantage became meaningless when their ships could barely move while human vessels darted between them like lightning. Quantum torpedoes struck targets that could not maneuver to evade. Plasma cannons found gaps in defenses that could not adapt quickly enough to compensate. High Chancellor Vrak's flagship was among the vessels caught in the temporal field. On his bridge, crew members struggled with controls that responded at glacial speed while human ships destroyed his fleet around him. The great leader who had ruled the galaxy for 2 centuries finally understood that his empire was ending. Chancellor, we cannot fight back, reported his tactical officer in slow motion. Our weapons and sensors are operating at less than 8% efficiency. The humans are destroying us and we cannot respond. Vrak watched his display as human ships systematically dismantled the largest military force in galactic history. Thousands of vessels from dozens of species were being destroyed or disabled by an enemy that had turned physics itself into a weapon. Send. Surrender signal to all ships, he commanded. This war is over. The formal surrender came 6 hours later when the surviving council representatives were brought aboard Prometheus Station. Rex met them in the main conference room, where the Treaty of Seoul would be signed ending 3,000 years of galactic tyranny. President Santos addressed the gathering with words that would be remembered for millennia. Today marks not the end of one era, but the beginning of another. Humanity did not seek this war, but we prepared for it because we understood a fundamental truth. Freedom is not given, it is taken. We offer the galaxy a choice. Join us in building a future based on cooperation and mutual respect, or remain trapped in the past clinging to systems that serve no one. The aliens had no choice but to accept. Their fleets were destroyed, their military doctrine was obsolete, and their technology was centuries behind human capabilities. The council that had ruled the galaxy was dissolved and replaced with a new federation based on equality rather than domination. In the months that followed, humanity's technological advances spread throughout the galaxy. The quantum drives that had given Earth's fleet such devastating advantages were shared freely, revolutionizing trade and communication. Medical technologies that could manipulate matter at the molecular level eliminated diseases that had plagued species for thousands of years, but the most significant change was philosophical. The galaxy had learned that progress came not from maintaining the status quo, but from embracing innovation and preparing for challenges that seemed impossible to overcome. The human approach to problem-solving became the new standard for advanced civilizations. Admiral Thorne was promoted to Fleet Admiral and Supreme Commander of the new Galactic Defense Force. He stood on the observation deck of Prometheus station watching ships from dozens of species dock at the facility. Human and alien crews worked together, sharing knowledge and building technologies that none of them could have imagined alone. The galaxy wanted war, he said to Captain Singh, who had become his chief of staff. Instead, they got something much better. They got a future worth fighting for. The transformation was remarkable. Species that had been enemies for millennia found common ground in human-led research projects. Technologies that had stagnated for centuries advanced rapidly when different minds worked together. The galaxy that had been frozen in ancient patterns suddenly exploded with innovation and progress. Trade routes that had been controlled by council monopolies were open to all species. Worlds that had been restricted to certain races became melting pots of different cultures and ideas. The rigid hierarchy that had defined galactic civilization for 3,000 years was replaced by a dynamic network of cooperation and mutual benefit. But perhaps most importantly, the galaxy had learned that preparation and determination could overcome any obstacle. The human example inspired other species to pursue their own technological breakthroughs and social advances. The stagnant empire of the Council became a thriving community of equals. As Rex watched the great work of galactic civilization continue, he reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. Humanity had faced extinction at the hands of a superior force, but had survived through planning, innovation, and the refusal to accept defeat. The galaxy had wanted war, but Earth had prepared for total victory, and in winning had given everyone something better than conquest. The stars that had once seemed cold and hostile now welcomed humanity and its allies as they built a future that would span the cosmos. The species that had dared to challenge the established order had not only survived, but had transformed the galaxy itself. Total victory had become total transformation, and the universe would never be the same.